Good morning, welcome to Morning Mastermind. So starting today, I'm going to be doing a weekly episode with 5 riddles each. These ones are extra challenging, so get ready to stretch the creative powers of your brain. So I'm going to get out of the way because these ones are a little bit longer than normal.
Welcome to Problem Solved.
Riddle number 1. Got this girl named Pat, and she likes books, but not magazines. She likes going to shows, but not the ballet. And she likes movies, but not pictures. So by these same rules, would she prefer videos or tapes? Number 2. Begin with the number of legs on a spider. Add to that the number of stars on the US flag in 1935. Divide that whole thing by 2 and add the number of leaves that enables you to distinguish poison ivy. What do you have? Okay, number 3. I'm going to put 6 words up on the screen here, and you need to determine which one doesn't belong. So we have the words peppermint, horsehide, steeplechase, dormitory, firehouse, and coinage. Okay, number 4. A deaf man needed to buy a saw to cut some wood, so like all things, he went to a hardware store. But since he's deaf, we want to know, how did he communicate to the storekeeper that he wanted to buy a saw? Okay, number 5. So we have a man standing in front of a picture of someone, and this man says, "Sons and brothers have I none, but this person's father is my father's son." So who's in the portrait? Now it's time for the answers. If you still want to think about any of those riddles, feel free to pause the video or go back and look at them again. But for the rest of us, let's move on. Okay, the answer to the first riddle, Pat, with her books, magazines, shows but not ballet, movies but not pictures, and then we have videos or tapes. Well, the one thing that's similar between the 4 things that she likes is that they all have the letter O. So by that rule, she would prefer videos over tapes. Number 2. So there are 8 legs on a spider, and there were 48 stars on the US flag in 1935 because Alaska and Arizona weren't yet states. So that makes a total of 56. We divide that by 2 and we get 28. And then poison ivy has 3 leaves on it, so you add that to the 28, so you get the answer of 31. Okay, number 3. So we had these 6 words that we were looking at, and they cover a lot of different things, so it's hard to figure out which one doesn't belong. But if you look closely, you'll notice that all of them except for dormitory can be broken down into 2 words. Peppermint is pepper and mint, horse and hide, steeple and chase, fire and house, and coin and age. They're not exactly compound words, but they could be broken down into other ones. But dormitory, there's not orm and itori. Those aren't 2 separate words. So that one doesn't belong. Then for the 4th one, so the deaf man needing to buy a saw. Well, just because he can't hear doesn't mean he can't talk. So he would have just told the storekeeper, "Hey, I want a saw." As simple as that. Anyway, number 5. So the person in the portrait. Let's look through this look through this carefully. And it's usually easiest to do these family ones working backwards. So he says that the person in the portrait, that person's father is his father's son. Well, his father's son would either be himself or any brothers he has, but he says at the beginning he doesn't have any brothers, so it'd have to be himself. So this person's father is my father's son means, so he's talking about one of his own children here, because by my father's son he's referring to himself because he has no brothers, and the person in the portrait is himself. Sorry, the person in the portrait's father is himself. So he's talking about one of his own children, but he mentioned specifically he doesn't have any sons, so that means it has to be his daughter. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed those riddles. It was a lot of fun making them. I hope you enjoyed them. So before I end this video, I want to explain why it is that I'm changing up Morning Mastermind. So from a lot of comments and the Google form where you get to suggest new content, I've heard that you want to see more of this thing. And so I want to do that. I like doing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm cutting Morning Mastermind back to a once a week thing, and that will give me more time to work on the more intensive Rubik's Cube videos because those take a lot more work to produce. So plan on expecting Rubik's Cube videos probably once every other week or so. That's the goal that I'm going to be working towards. So I'm going to be doing lots more on ZZ, probably some CFOP tutorials, root tutorials, getting into, let's say, 4x4 as well, and just whatever else you want me to talk about with the Rubik's Cube. So with that, I would love to have you share this video with some friend who loves Rubik's Cubes, loves stretching their brain with riddles, whatever that may be. Let's get more people involved in this. So with that, this has been Problem Solved. Over and out.